Hey guys, this is Camfrey15 back at it with another video for you guys, and I'm back with another My Dress Up Darling episode review for you guys. And we are back with episode 7 of this amazing series, anime of the season. And yes, this episode we get the episode where Gojo goes over to Kitagawa's house, and that was hilarious. As well as we get to see Juju's little sister, which hilariously is she's not little, she is a pretty big sister. Anyways, let's get on this episode review. So obviously this episode kind of picks up where we left off last week, and essentially Kitagawa was kind of just asking Juju, we should do a group photo together and everything, which is just both of them in their cosplay taking a picture with one another and stuff like that. So you know, at first Juju's kind of like not cool with it and everything, but eventually, you know, Kitagawa's like, I'll pitch in, I'll put some money into it, and even Gojo's like, well, I'll put some money into it as well. If we're gonna do this, then I might as well help as well. And essentially it just kind of makes it to where Juju's like, oh, okay, sure, fine, let's do it. Now obviously we know Gojo likes to get his references by playing, whether it was Slippery Girls here, and he's willing to watch the anime of the girls that they're gonna cosplay and stuff like that. And essentially we find out that Kitagawa has the DVD sets of 126 episodes. I found it hilarious how Gojo's like, 126. Yes, you know, 126 honestly isn't that bad. Say go watch a freaking Dragon Ball or a One Piece that has dang near over, you know, 200 episodes and stuff like that. So, you know, that's the funny part in all of this and everything. So, that's essentially freaking cool. We also do get a scene where he's talking to Gojo's talking to his grandfather, and I definitely did like this, the fact that he's actually getting better with the Hina dolls, because him doing the cosplay with Kitagawa actually helped him with his concentration on how the design and the makeup of the Hina dolls is supposed to look. And it goes to show you, you know, it's kind of that thing where it's like, if you do one thing and then you do another thing that kind of plays hand in hand with the main thing you're doing, it essentially enhances your craft. Like, I'm a sports guy, you know, football. You know, I always hear that people who do track, you know, and they play football, their craft in football gets a lot better in terms of, you know, like for speed, because they're running track and everything. Or, you know, if you do sport, you know, with that has footwork involved in it, and you say you do like choreography, dance, or something like that, that can help your footwork in your said sport, because you know how your feet operate and everything. I thought that was pretty cool and eye-opening, you know, the fact that, you know, Gojo only helping Kitagawa and now Juju with the cosplay is creating a very positive effect on his work with the Hina dolls, from the standpoint that he's actually improved significantly, you know, in terms of how to handle the Hina dolls with concentration. So like his grandfather says, like, you know, you would make the makeup on the Hina dolls like really stiff and everything. But now you kind of let it smooth out, and that's probably because of the concentration you did with the makeup of Kitagawa. So I definitely did like that and everything. So yeah. Anyways, what happens next we find out is he goes over to Kitagawa's house. Kitagawa opens the door, and my god, she comes out, chest all out and everything, and he's just looking, he's like, oh yes. But he's obviously blushing and everything, and he sees her legit nipples go through her top area. We later find out she's not wearing a bra, which it's like, bruh, come on. Oh, you would think a girl would do that, you know, especially with a guy coming over, unless you want to get freaky or something like that later on. I don't know. If there's any girls watching up on the channel, listen, if you want to compliment, go ahead, comment. I don't care. I don't really want to listen to your personal business, but You know, personally, I would think as a girl you would wear at least a bra or something, especially if a guy's coming over. And the funny thing is we actually see Kitagawa's natural eye color. Her natural eye color is like, I think it looked black or brownish. And what I found hilarious is the fact that at first, I thought she was just like I thought she was just like letting it all out and everything. She was just wearing like a bra or something. No, that's like a part of her dress outfit she was wearing. Which it looked really nice. It was a really cute dress. But she was more worried about her colored eye contact compared to what she kind of looks and how Gojo's looking at her. And I'm like, this girl cannot be this dense. You're in love with this guy, but you're so dense. You're worried about the eye contact from your eyes being black, and you're like, I gotta put my eye contacts in so they can be pink. I'm like, okay, sure, fine. Yes. So my guy freaking Gojo, he's in the house. He's like, I'm gonna hurl him in a girl's house right now and I'm gonna freak out. And that's when Kitagawa's like, hey, why not just watch the movie? Why would not watch the episodes here at my place? It will have, we can get a lot of episodes watched, you can take it home, some of it home, and it's not much of a hassle and everything. And he's like, no, we shouldn't. She's like, oh, come on, let's do this. We end up seeing Kitagawa's room, and Kitagawa's room essentially puts him back in his regular state where he's like, oh yeah, this is Kitagawa's room, which is just a bunch of anime stuff and everything. Like, even in my room, I don't have a bunch of anime stuff. Like, really, truly, the only anime thing, like, in my house, in my room, that it's pretty distinguishable is the DVDs, my One Piece mangas. I have the One Piece Straw Hat flag in the background above my bed and everything. I even have a full-fledged, like, picture frame of Dragon Ball Z characters from the Buu Saga, I believe. It's behind my bed. I haven't hung it up because I'm probably gonna hang it up till I end up getting my own place one day and stuff like that. But I thought that was hilarious and everything. He's like, oh, good. I end up watching the anime episodes and stuff like that, which then leads into the whole fact that Kitagawa was literally like, oh my goodness, he's actually in my room. This is like a home date. What are we gonna do? Oh my goodness. I'm like, this girl, she again, she uses the wording love you in the one way how I guess certain anime characters say it and everything. She's like, the guy is in my room. I'm like, oh my goodness, this girl, she's losing her mind. And I just literally love the whole thing where it had the whole, the one scene where it had the I guess you can say the dialogue of like, as if there's the narrators reading like, oh, Kitagawa Marine is shocked that Wakana Gojo isn't, I literally paused the episode just to read that entire thing. I'm like, oh my goodness, this is funny. But because of this, she realizes she's hungry. Gojo's like, I'll go get you something, or I'll go make you something to eat. And she's like, no, you're the guest. I want to make you food and everything. So you get this very funny scene where she wants to make like Gojo this, like, I guess, chicken omelet or something like that. And she's thinking, oh, I can just have this. He's gonna fall high over heels for me and everything and stuff like that. But she had the product being completely with like the words love on it, but it ended up coming out into like just a mess. And I loved how she said sorry. But he ends up eating it and he's like, this is pretty damn good. I enjoyed it. I like it. Those were the cute, adorable moments I like to see. Could they? I do appreciate the author for going this direction. They could have made it to where, you have it to where both characters are very flustered, maybe thinking sexual thoughts. But it's just nice, positive. Now Gojo kind of isn't aware; he's just kind of watching it. Kitagawa was kind of the girl, is the one that's kind of just like, oh my goodness, and stuff like that. But I found that funny, and that was nice, cute, and adorable. And then we kind of pick up after they're done. Gojo calls over Juju, essentially going over the things and over the designs and stuff like that. Juju obviously is pretty aware of the fact that Gojo has very detailed, design instructions, for the cosplay and everything. She's actually like, wow, you're actually pretty good. I guess I underestimated you, and stuff like that. Now, you also do get this one scene where, she's talking about like the tape that can affect her eyelids and everything, which I didn't even freaking know. I'm like, wait, there's special tapes that can actually affect your eyelids and stuff like that. And she was like, yeah, if you want to make them droopy, you put it like this. I'm like, what? I'm like, is this what they do in like movie business and stuff? Like, they have, like, I guess see-through tape they just put on the actors' faces and stuff like that, and it affects their like their eye. I'm like, didn't know that at all. And it's funny because even Juju's like, wait, you didn't know that? And he's like, well, no, it was my first cosplay. Juju again is shocked, like, bruh, this guy didn't know what he was doing. He still made probably the perfect cosplay, and everything. And essentially, you know, they go in this leads into the scene where obviously, you know, she's talking about, you know, photography and everything, you know, and saying like, you only use a smartphone? Well, we use like a legit like camera and stuff like that and everything. And you know, she's like, my little sister who's in middle school does the camera work and everything. I'm like, oh wow, okay. I'm like, you and your sister could dang near run a little photography business together and stuff like that. And obviously Gojo calls up Kitagawa, because he even asked Juju like, hey, can your sister show me like the ropes in terms of photography and stuff like that? And she's like, yeah, cool, you know, and stuff like that. So what happens essentially is what happens essentially is the standpoint of they go Gojo calls Kitagawa over and he's like, yeah, I'm actually meeting up with Juju's sister and everything, and obviously Kitagawa and Gojo, they're like, wow, Kitagawa's or Juju's little sister, man, she must be a mini splitting image of Juju. And well, let's just say you would think that, but they do the complete opposite. They go to this one restaurant area and we get introduced to Juju's sister. Now, Juju's sister is kind of a little bit of a shy person and she doesn't like to talk much. And we see Juju's younger sister, and she doesn't look like she's the younger sister, definitely. She would definitely look like she's the older sister in their family, because she is a lot taller. She looks like Juju, just bigger and taller, most definitely. And the one thing where this episode leaves you off laughing out loud is the fact that Gojo's looking at her. He's like, what? This is her little sister? And he's like, huh? And then he looks at her chest area. I'm like, oh my God. He's like, how is a middle schooler that big? Now, listen, fun story, fun fact. When I was in high school, in junior high, my 7th grade year, I was in this English class. There was one girl I came across that, she had some pretty big boobs for a 7th grader. Mind you, this is coming out of 6th grade into 7th grade. And when I saw it, I was like, oh, who won it? What guy won it? But he found that Gojo's over him like, wow. He's just like, I'm like, okay, Gojo, you're a high schooler. She's a junior high school. Not cool. And then Kitagawa just freaking makes the whole scene die. Completely leaves you off laughing at the end of the episode because she's like, wait, how big are you? Because I'm 164 centimeters. And essentially, sister says, well, I'm 170, I'm 174. And Gojo's like, oh. And obviously Kitagawa's like, wow, I'm so jealous. And Gojo's like, wait, that's what you wanted to know? I'm like, oh my goodness. That was hilarious. That's where the episode ends. So I get next week, seemingly I'm guessing Juju's little sister is going to show them the tips and techniques at photo shoot and everything. This is definitely gonna be funny. I'm definitely shocked, but I shouldn't be shocked the fact they did the opposite of what Juju looks like, and stuff like that. So yeah, but funny. But anyways, I enjoyed this episode of My Dress Up Darling. Can't wait for more. Again, leave a like if you like this video. Put in the comment section your thoughts on this week's episode of My Dress Up Darling, as well as hit that subscribe button if you want to get more My Dress Up Darling content, as well as any other Winter of Anime 2022 content. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna get out of here. Hopefully, guys, have a great rest of your day or night whenever you're checking out this video. Until then, guys, I'll catch you guys on the next video. See you guys later. Peace.